Please, ma'am. Just speak into it.
Annette LaBox, Pitt Polder Preservation Society. We're a grassroots organization whose goal, whose mission is to protect the wetlands and agricultural land in Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows. I represent more than 180 members. Our organization stopped the Swanisat development about 9 or 10 years ago. We are also responsible for working very, very hard in the conservation of 2 BC regional parks, Laney Bog and the Cod Island wetlands. Now, at the time, that took 6 years and 7 months of more than 100 people working, signing letters, lobbying governments and so on to set that park aside. But at that time, none of us in our wildest imagination ever thought that a park, you'd have to lobby and start protecting the park all over again. We thought that once a park was a park, it was a park forever. So I can just imagine how those citizens who helped conserve Pinecone Burke are feeling right now. They must be feeling absolutely enraged that they have to start all over again after all their hard work and volunteer hours, because most of the parks that were set aside by citizens who volunteered their time, who cared. And here we are in the same situation right now, and I am very concerned that if this project goes ahead, that no BC park will be safe from industrial development. You men up there, you private power producers, corporation, that the Pitt Polder Preservation Society is vehemently opposed to putting a road through the park and also to destroying a pristine wilderness. The other thing that I'm very concerned about is the process. This is a very, very flawed process. For example, and I do have a couple of questions. For example, a couple of myself and another board member very recently did a workshop for the Maple Ridge Teachers Association. And there were 17 teachers in that room. They were either from Maple Ridge or Pitt Meadows. We talked about bottled water, down on bottled water. We also talked about the Upper Pitt. And the first question I asked the teachers were, and these were high school teachers, how many are aware of what is going on in the Upper Pitt with the Run of the River project? Only one teacher put his hand up and said he knew a little. 16 teachers knew nothing about it, and teachers are very well informed. The point here is that the average person doesn't know about this. And just as the speaker said before, just before me, as soon as you tell them, first of all, they're shocked. They can't believe it. And second of all, they're very, very angry. But in just doing a poll among my friends who are not in the environmental community, none of them know about it. So you haven't got the word out. The second point that I want to make is you have a list of organizations over there. I just told you some of our credentials, which aren't bad for a little organization in a grassroots organization in Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows. We did not get an invitation to any of these presentations. Did you send a mail out to all the environmental organizations in the Lower Mainland? That's my question.
Is the guy at the back waving his hand?
Did you send out invitations in the mail, inviting them to these inviting organizations to your presentation?
I believe we did not send any organizations. We did have a number of public open sessions in which we also followed up with workshops, 5-hour workshops with a variety of groups, including the Alvin community, North Mountain Naturalists, and the Western Canadian.
Were these workshops, these 5-hour workshops in the daytime, held in the daytime?
Yes, they were.
Yes, well, most people, the average person in British Columbia works in the daytime. And the point is, out invitations to environmental groups, then you mustn't have been trying too hard to get the word out to actually get feedback. So that's one thing. I'm very concerned about that. The second thing that I'd like to ask you, our group has held many dances, many events in the Pitt Meadows Rec Hall. It takes one day to phone up the Rec Hall, because that's probably the largest venue we have in Pitt Meadows, to make an arrangement to say, when do you have an opening for a meeting? So my question to you is, why do you not have a date this evening for the next meeting in Pitt Meadows?
I think we're all aware that we are committed to another meeting in Pitt Meadows. We have to determine where that will be and look at the contributions, and we'll define it and get back to you as soon as we know when.
Well, okay, I can tell you right now, the largest venue in Pitt Meadows is the Pitt Meadows Rec Hall. And I could just look it up on the internet or look it up in the phone book. Pitt Meadows Rec Hall. By tomorrow, you should have some kind of a date. But if you leave it and leave it, it's going to be hard to get a date. And with the deadline looming, and that's another issue, there's not enough time for us. Because the people of Pitt Meadows and Maple Ridge and the Lower Mainland, they don't know about this. They're starting to, but they don't know right now.
I think you had another question?
Yes, I did. We're all hearing about the economic benefits, and other people have asked this question as well. But I would like to know the cost, in dollars and cents, the cost of the destruction of the wild salmon and also of the grizzly. Can you come up with a number for that? Because for sure the wild salmon population is going down if this project goes through.
The question is, do we actually have a number, an estimate for the value of the wild salmon?
Priceless.
I think the answer is no.
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 No, I didn't think so, because you don't value it. That's why you don't have